Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing something a little different for today's deep dive.
Yeah, we're tackling vocabulary
Specifically,
for the CGL
we've got a list here.
of 87 synonym pairs that pop up. Toxic and lethal.
Yeah.
Now, both of these words,
The scary words.
yeah, they can be pretty scary.
Yeah.
They both relate to danger, but lethal
Yikes.
emphasizes a guaranteed outcome.
Okay.
Something lethal will cause death.
Right, like a lethal injection.
Exactly.
Lethal dose.
Whereas toxic implies something poisonous.
Uh-huh.
But the outcome might not be for sure.
Okay.
You could ingest something toxic and get really sick,
Right.
but you might not die.
So, question about
Yeah,
I don't know, environmental regulations or something.
right.
Knowing that difference would
It's
be
huge,
huge.
especially if they were asking about the immediate danger of something versus
Right.
the long-term effects.
Okay, so it's not even just about knowing the definition. It's
Yeah,
about
You got to understand how
how it's used.
the words are used and the different contexts.
So what other words from the list
Well,
do a good job of highlighting that?
misleading and mendacious are good ones.
Okay.
They both relate to falsehood.
Yeah.
But mendacious actually points to a person's tendency to lie.
Okay.
They are by nature a liar,
Mm-hmm.
while misleading could be totally unintentional.
Oh.
Information could be misleading without someone deliberately trying to deceive.
So maybe they're just
Maybe they just don't know.
misinformed themselves.
Exactly.
It makes me think about
What?
a witness testimony or something, or
Fun.
legal statements and stuff.
Yeah, one word suggests intent
Yeah.
and the other one doesn't.
What about words on the list that create
Oh,
completely different images in your mind?
there are a lot of them.
Even though they're similar in their definitions?
Berserk and demented are good examples.
Okay.
Both mean crazy in a general sense,
Yeah.
but berserk conjures up this image of wild, uncontrolled rage.
Okay.
Someone who's completely lost their composure.
Right, like a warrior going berserk.
Exactly,
the whole
lashing
time.
out.
Yeah.
Whereas demented suggests a more lasting mental instability.
Ooh. Oh,
Maybe even like a disconnect from reality.
it's a lot more unsettling.
Yeah.
Cascade and waterfall.
Ooh, those are good ones.
Yeah.
We're getting into some nice imagery now.
Right. Beautiful scenery.
Cascade suggests a graceful, tiered flow.
Mm.
Like a series of small waterfalls, gently tumbling down a hillside.
Very soothing.
Waterfall makes me think of something much more powerful and dramatic.
Yeah, like Niagara Falls.
Exactly.
That deafening roar.
And that's the thing, they both describe the same thing.
Right.
But the imagery
Totally.
is completely
I'm
different.
starting to see how being able to
Yeah.
pick up on those nuances is really important.
Oh, it's huge for the CGL,
Yeah.
especially when you have to analyze these complex texts.
Right. And infer meaning
Exactly.
and interpret little cues.
Mm-hmm. It's not even just imagery. Sometimes it's the subtle connotations words carry,
Oh.
like altruistic and philanthropic.
Okay.
They both mean giving or charitable, but
But they operate on different scales, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Philanthropic makes me think of
Yeah,
large-scale organized giving.
like setting up a foundation.
Right, or donating millions of dollars to a cause. Like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
Huge philanthropists. Whereas altruistic is more personal.
Yeah.
It suggests everyday acts of generosity and kindness.
Right, like helping a stranger.
Exactly.
Why does it-
Volunteering at a local soup kitchen.
Yeah.
All of that's altruistic.
It's interesting how they're both positive, but the scope is so different.
Yeah. And thinking about the CGL.
Yeah.
Like if you had a question where you needed to determine someone's motive
Right.
or analyze their character based on their actions,
Mm-hmm.
knowing the difference between someone who is just generous
Wow.
versus someone who engages in large-scale philanthropy
Right.
could be crucial.
It's like adding another layer
Exactly.
to understanding human behavior.
Yeah.
What about words that convey unconventionality?
Oh, there's a lot of good ones there.
I'm thinking about maverick and bohemian.
Oh, those are excellent examples.
They both suggest someone who doesn't fit the mold.
Right. But in very distinct ways.
Maverick, I think of
Maverick has this air of independence and defiance. It suggests someone who goes against the grain challenges. Authority forges their own path.
this is a powerful word.
It is.
Bohemian, I feel like, is more
artistic and free-spirited.
right, like a creative type.
Yeah, someone who embraces a less conventional lifestyle.
Yeah.
Focused on creativity self-expression.
Yeah.
Think of artists, writers, musicians,
Right.
people who kind of live life on their own terms.
So, again, on the CGL,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a passage about social dynamics or cultural movements, understanding the difference between those two
could be key.
could be really important.
Especially if you're trying to decipher the author's intent.
Right. Or analyze a character's motivation.
Exactly.
This is really making me think about, like, all the different shades of meaning within the English language.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty incredible.
But the goal isn't just to learn definitions.
Right.
It's to understand how to use these words effectively.
It's like the difference between knowing the parts of a car and being able to drive it.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, so let's put this into practice.
Yeah.
You got some examples for us.
I pick a couple examples from the list that show how these words come alive in actual sentences.
Okay.
So the first one,
Hit me.
the politician's speech was full of innuendo suggesting corruption without directly accusing anyone.
Ooh, that's juicy.
Right.
Sounds like a political thriller.
It's all about innuendo,
Yeah.
which means an indirect or subtle hint, often with a negative connotation.
Okay.
So the politician in this sentence was implying wrongdoing,
But being sneaky about it.
but was careful not to make any explicit accusations.
So it's a way of, like, planting seeds of doubt
Exactly.
without actually making a claim.
It's a powerful tool.
It makes me think about the ethics of it all.
Yeah, there are definitely some ethical considerations there.
What about example number 2?
Okay, this was a little more inspiring.
Okay.
Despite facing adversity, her perseverance helped her achieve her dream.
Well, that's nice.
So here we've got adversity and perseverance.
Okay.
Adversity refers to challenges and difficulties. The obstacles we encounter in life.
Okay.
And perseverance is that unwavering determination
Right.
to overcome those obstacles no matter what.
It's a powerful message
It is.
about resilience and overcoming challenges.
And I love how these two words together
Yeah.
create this really vivid image
Well, I know, right?
of someone who's just not giving up.
It's inspiring.
And that's the power of language.
Yeah.
So to really solidify your understanding,
Okay.
I encourage you to take some of these synonym pairs from the list
Uh-huh.
and try to come up with your own sentences.
That's a great idea.
It's like a workout for your vocabulary.
The more we use them, the more comfortable we'll get.
Exactly.
But before we get too carried away,
Yeah, we got more to cover.
we have so many more synonym pairs to get through.
That's right. There are a lot more.
Yeah, I'm ready for more.
But before we dive into more of those,
Oh.
I want to shift gears for a second.
Okay.
We've been focusing on words with similar meanings.
Right. Synonyms.
But what about the flip side?
Oh.
What about antonyms?
Antonyms, words with opposite meaning.
Exactly.
So we're thinking about the relationship between words,
Yeah.
not just expanding our vocabulary.
It's like you can't fully understand the concept of light without understanding the concept of darkness.
Okay. Yeah.
They define each other.
Right. They're opposites.
And the same is true for words.
Okay.
Understanding antonyms can deepen our understanding of those individual words.
So as we're studying our synonym pairs,
Yeah,
we should also be thinking about their antonyms.
exactly.
So, like, if we're looking at toxic, we could also think about safe or healthy,
Exactly.
beneficial.
It's about looking at a word
Yeah.
from multiple angles.
This has been a really interesting deep dive.
I think so too.
I feel like I've learned a lot about synonyms.
And remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore when it comes to language.
It's a whole world out there.
The more you engage with words, the more confident you'll become.
And the better prepared we'll be for that CGL.
Absolutely.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Yeah, first and foremost, remember that vocabulary building is a marathon,
Okay.
not a sprint.
Don't cram.
Don't try to cram it all in at the last minute.
Pace yourself.
Make it a habit to engage with language.
Read a lot.
Read widely. Pay attention to how words are used.
So it's about cultivating a love of language and making it a part of our lives.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
It's how we learn.
The more you experiment, the more you'll learn.
So embrace the challenge.
Have fun with it.
Have fun and never stop exploring.
That's what it's all about.
Well, this brings us to the end of our deep dive.
On the power of synonyms.
For CGL 2024 success.
We hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you learned something.
And we hope you feel ready to tackle those vocabulary challenges.
Until next time, happy studying, everyone.